Hello and welcome to the Cybernaut Tech and Gaming channel. So if you take a look down by the big red subscribe button, you'll see that I changed the channel name to Cybernaut Tech and Gaming. The reason I did this is because I feel like that more accurately depicts the type of content that will be on the channel moving forward. So today's video is going to be sort of a follow-up, and it's a follow-up to a video I made about a month ago showcasing my experience from switching from Windows to Linux. There was a few things I thought could have gone better in that video. Particularly, I thought the editing sucked. Honestly, it was kind of a rushed video. And the other thing was that I feel like the information I was saying, in the information I was providing, wasn't necessarily accurate or wasn't as informative as I would have liked it to be. So that's what today's video is going to be about. One of the key differences from last month's video to right now is the fact that I'm using Ubuntu 19.04 instead of 18.10 for my daily driver. All it is an operating system upgrade. There's honestly not too much different. They have added some things. If you're interested in learning what they changed from 18.10 or 18.04 to the new one, I recommend this article on It's FOSS, and it pretty much goes over like the 10 biggest things that they went ahead and changed in Ubuntu 19.04. So upon looking at my extravagant desktop, you can see that I've moved the GNOME sidebar that's usually on the left side right there down to the bottom. I'm just more familiar with my most frequently used apps being right there at the bottom. You can also click in the little side there, and it's just GNOME. It's basically the same as it was, although honestly I feel like this GNOME is just a little bit snappier and more responsive than the last one. Installing software was pretty much a breeze too. Most of the stuff that I needed was already on the Ubuntu Software Center, and if it's not there, you do have some other options in terms of getting the software onto your machine. So you can actually do snap packages as long as you have I believe the command is like snapd or something like that. I had to do this for one or two of them, and there's also there's the Ubuntu Software Center, there's the snap packages, and then I believe certain programs too, you could just go to their website and they'll have a .deb file, and usually Ubuntu Software Center will go ahead and open that up for you and install it right away. As for my audio, it worked pretty much perfectly out of the box. My microphone was detected instantly. I didn't need to do any additional setup or anything like that. And then, as I said in the previous video, I use Bluetooth headphones, and at first they wouldn't pair. I had to go ahead and install a little program called Blueman, but after that everything was fine, and they can pair and unpair now without any issues, and it's actually still more hassle-free than Windows, because Windows just hates Bluetooth headphones for some reason. Now onto my graphics and displays. So when I went ahead and installed Ubuntu 19.04 on my system, it actually detected that I had an NVIDIA card right away, and it went ahead and installed a newer version of the drivers, because I believe on 18.04 and 18.10, I believe the default is 390, I think, and I believe it will install either 415 or 418 by default on these. I don't know which, and I could be awfully wrong, and if I am, someone please yell at me. But it went ahead and did that during the install, and it found my monitors, and everything was fine. Alright, now on to the fun stuff. So this is where I talk about gaming. Now, gaming thus far has been really enjoyable, and it's actually gotten better since my last video. Every game that I've tried to run on Steam has worked just fine, either natively or with Proton. I haven't had a game crash, I haven't had any like graphical issues or anything like that. Everything's been working fine. It's been awesome. And I know I touched on in my last video, I touched on Overwatch sort of feeling weird in the previous setup that I had, and I said like it felt different, it felt like graphically different, and like the controls felt a little bit different. I don't know what happened, but there was a DXVK patch, I believe, to 1.03, and I believe there was a few improvements made to Wine, and literally out of nowhere, all those issues I was saying, I wouldn't even call them issues, but I know that I said that it felt different in my earlier video. It feels the same now. If you had a PC running Lutris with Overwatch on it, and you had one right next to it that had Windows and was running Overwatch, I honestly wouldn't be able to discern the difference between the two. It was super fluid. It got rid of, like, you know, that I don't know how to explain it, but like that feeling like something was different. The controls were weird. Graphically, it looked just a little bit different. But I don't know. Ever since I upgraded to DXVK 1.03, all that stuff went away, and it's awesome. Now, unfortunately, there is one unhappy camper in the pack, and this guy right here, League of Legends, will not run stable at least. It'll run, but every now and then I get a full system freeze when doing this. And for a little bit I was thinking maybe it's just because I installed it via Snap Pack, and it explicitly says like it's not meant for like a stable sort of like release thing, and you have to do like, when you're installing it, you have to do like -- dev mode to get it running. But you know, I gave it a try anyways, and it, like I said, it kept crashing all the time. And I thought that I'd rectify the situation by going ahead and heading over to Lutris. And if you don't know what Lutris is, go ahead and check out my last video. But I went over to Lutris, I went through the Lutris install script for League of Legends on Linux, and I had the exact same issues. No matter what Wine executable I was using, whether it was staging or I think it's TKG 4.6 or something like that, and then Wine staging 4.6, it was like, these are the newest ones that are out. And no matter what I did, I would get the same thing. And it's usually like every like 15, 20-ish minutes, I will just get a system-wide lock. Like my mouse won't work, my keyboard won't work, and the only option I have is just to do a hard reset. So that brings me to one of the last parts of my discussion, and sometimes my friends will ask me if I'm still going to go ahead and keep a Windows partition on my PC, and the answer is yes. And simply, it's because if I want to play games like Apex Legends or Rainbow Six Siege, or even League, for example, because it's broken on Linux, or broken in my case, I don't know, maybe different for other people, I'm going to have to play those games anyways, and that basically means I'm going to need a Windows environment. And the way I see it is I shouldn't go through the trouble of learning Kdenlive and all the other media creation softwares on Linux. If I already have a Windows install, I may as well just keep using the Adobe suite. So it's been a month since I switched. What's my verdict? I think I'm enjoying it thus far. Ubuntu's definitely presented me with far fewer issues when it comes to everyday usage and gaming. There's some compromises you're going to have to make, like League of Legends, for example, but there are workarounds for some of the issues that you may encounter. Honestly, a lot of them were just a quick Google search. And if you do switch, you'll have to be aware that some games, like, they just straight up won't work, like PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege, Apex, and stuff like that. But all in all, I'm very happy with the switch thus far, and I can see myself using Ubuntu as my daily driver for many years to come. That's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you did not, please give it a dislike and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can improve on. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.